Left Wing Kings. Listen, think, act, repeat.
Welcome to the Left Wing King podcast. Today we're diving into Joe Biden's decision to pardon his beloved son, Hunter Biden. I'm your HMIC, your head moderator in charge, Malik, and I'm joined today by King Ace.
What up, what up?
My man, Dr. Sizer, King
Hello.
Larry. All right. And Queen Tina on those comments getting down. Now, let me break down how this show works for all of you who haven't watched this before. We're going to go over all of our topics. And once we're done, we're going to circle back and respond to some of your comments that you have on there. And then we'll also go ahead and start taking a few phone calls if you guys want to call in and talk to us. Now, I won't share the number until we're at the end and ready to take calls. So stay tuned and get ready for that phone number. All right. Let's get it cracking. Joe Biden's decision to pardon his son, Hunter, has sparked a lot of debate. We've seen a lot of things going on right now on both sides of the fence. So we're going to unpack the 5 key factors behind this historic decision. And reason number 1 is political pressure. So President Biden faced immense pressure from both sides of the aisle. Many believe that Hunter Biden was being unfairly targeted due to his father's position. Ace, by issuing the pardon, did Joe Biden relieve that political pressure or did he increase political pressure on himself?
I believe he increased political pressure on himself. I mean, from both sides. I think the right call it an abuse of power. They're being hypocrites, though. I mean, same thing they're saying about him. They won't challenge Trump on. We know that Trump, in his first term, pardoned a whole bunch of questionable individuals. Mike Flint, Steve Bannon, George Papadopoulos, or however you say his damn name, and Paul Manafort, just to name a few of them. But saying that he's weaponizing the Justice Department, I think that both sides kind of say that when they want to utilize that against him. But I think from the right he catches that, and just the left, which is kind of crazy. And I know later on we'll get into a little bit more, a little bit deeper. But they're kind of saying he's validating the reason for Trump to do any pardons coming up into his new terms, which we all know he don't need no reason for that. You know what I'm saying? So, but so he's definitely catching political pressure in this situation.
I absolutely agree, but I kind of believe that he put that pressure on himself when he said that he wouldn't do it.
Yep, right.
Yep.
Because the reality is if the system if there had not been communicated that the system was going to be weaponized, then sometimes you just got to take the ride. And however, knowing that Hunter had he already had a plea deal, and the powers that be, or the right wing forces stepped in and had that plea deal thrown out, you have every reason to believe that they're going to do work him.
Yeah.
He's already been found guilty, for something that had you go into court, you got a plea deal, and then they throw it out, you come back, you go to trial, and you're guilty. Well, yes, he's guilty. He that's why he had a plea deal.
Exactly.
Because he said, I'm guilty. I
know
did
I'm going
these things. I know I did it.
Yeah.
So, the fact that they came back and want to just turn the screws on them, that's, you gotta meet people where they at.
Yeah.
And in this situation, he absolutely did the appropriate thing, considering the folks that are the threats that have been made.
Yeah.
Pretty much. There's a whole lot of people out there that should be at, the things they've said should be cause for concern, especially when you consider that the syncopaths Trump is proposing to put in the particular positions, you don't want to wait and sit for it to happen to you and wonder, oh my God, I'm out here just hanging out here, and Joe Biden's off in the Caribbean sipping Mai Tais or something. Like, yo, you could have took care of me.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. The thing that really gets me with this is I think I agree. Like he ramped up the political pressure on himself, but not only that, he's also providing like an out for Trump to say, I can pardon anybody who's guilty. You pardoned the guilty man. We know he's guilty, not just because it wasn't like he was railroaded. He asked for a plea deal, to your point.
Trump pardoned guilty people already.
Exactly, but that's his out. He can keep doing it. What do you think he's going to do with January 6th with all of these hostages?
He's going to let them out. He's not going to have any choice.
He already said he was going to do that anyway.
He's not going to have any choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, but now he could justify it even more. He was going to do it already.
Yeah.
But now, he look at what your boy's doing. I can do the same thing.
Now, what shouldn't escape us is Hunter is a absolute idiot.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So
everybody got to fuck up in the
shouldn't
fam.
And it's like, why do you even put your people? You understand your father's position. Why you even you're not 21 years old. His ass like 50. He's 54.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
How do you end up putting your people in that sort of situation and circumstance to even have to come bail you out? You a grown ass man. 54. You can have grandkids.
Yeah.
Some places you can have great grandkids.
I know some people. I know some of them people.
So you can't. You asking a lot to ask them to have to come bail you out, and this situation kind of reminds me of when Hillary was running and everything was going smooth, and then old boy Wiener had his laptop came out.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we ended up with Trump in the first place.
Exactly.
Was his situation off on the side doing weird shit.
Yeah.
So some people are simply, you're going to be a footnote in the annals of history of potentially what is to come down the road.
Exactly.
I just, maybe Trump won't go nuts. Maybe they won't go nuts. But if I'm betting,
don't hold your breath on that.
I'm betting that it's going to be on and popping.
Yeah. He's going to let what's his name? Kennedy go wild on healthcare.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He ain't hold back shit.
We're gonna be getting milk from the actual go up to the cow and just drink the milk straight out the udder.
No pasteurization
like
at all.
Water fountain,
At the store.
No pasteurization at all.
Yeah.
We going back to back when there was no regulation, like in the 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
People getting sick and dying of smallpox and shit like that.
Yeah. That's what we looking at,
Hey man, I really think that the big thing that really a lot of people are talking about with this decision that he made and why he did it is critical, and we need to talk about that too, like that family loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that was a big deal, and it's no secret that Joe Biden, I mean, your man is deeply devoted to his family. He's lost a lot. And he holds his family in high regard, man. So now he did promise not to pardon him, right?
Mm-hmm.
But this was a way for him to protect his son from any further legal trouble. And as a father, you probably can understand from that perspective why he did what he did. But he's got a lot of public scrutiny for that. So, Larry, should Joe Biden have honored his word, or should he have went ahead and saved his son?
And I'll be honest. Initially, I was just flat out save the son, but at some point, his son has a like we said, man's 54 years old. He's a grown ass man, grown,
right, for real.
And so, sometimes you have to have you want your kids to learn their lessons in life and understand that life is about choices.
Yeah.
However, the ascension of MAGA has pretty much diminished the confidence in the justice system. And in light of the statements made, Trump had every right Biden had every right to want to step in and intercede on behalf of his son, because he was just going to be made as a tool to propagate right-wing extremist bullshit. You look and what they had him on. I believe one thing was he had a gun. He falsified his application for gun ownership.
Yep.
And he I guess in the box where it says, you don't use drugs, and he checked that box that he doesn't use drugs. But they got his laptop, and when they went in at a hard drive there, he laying there with a crack pipe and shit. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like, who takes pictures of themselves with, if any
Crackheads, obviously.
I mean, goddamn, you.
Hey, with the pipe.
You who does that? Like that's like, that's just, I mean, that is I don't even want to say childish behavior. It's just like, who does that?
Yeah.
And
really
and then
don't.
they, I guess he was really in there. The thing he took a plea deal on was for the he failed to pay taxes,
Right.
100,000 in taxes
Mhm.
in 2018 and 2019.
Yeah.
And my understanding was that's first offense or whatever. You typically you get parole or in cases like that. But they expressed and took him to trial because that was not going to happen. But on the other hand, you have to look. Matt Gaetz was sex trafficking minors. Where's the accountability in that situation? Why were those charges dropped? Because R. Kelly wants to know.
Basically,
and then we're talking about folks being convicted. Trump was convicted, sexual assault, got a felony for hush money payments. So sometimes you have to weigh the situation, and again, if the faith in the justice system had not been eroded, then I would absolutely say, hey, he got to take the ride.
Yeah.
But the fact that that's no longer the case, and it has been communicated that it's going to be weaponized, I would have stepped in on behalf of my fucked up ass son, and just kept him out of that. Now, if I'm a betting man, I'm betting that he's gonna do some other fucked up shit.
Oh yeah.
he got a pat. Some people just have a pattern of behavior.
Yeah.
He's got one, and it's not good.
Yeah. He might end up in jail sooner or later.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and agree with everything you say, Dr. Sizer, but I look at the timing of when the button or the Hunter Biden stuff came out, and that coordinated right when Trump was walking in trial and going through all of his stuff. They timed that out politically. He had a plea deal that was done, and a lot of this was water under the bridge, and all of a sudden the Republicans lobby back to bring all this back up. Now, not saying that Hunter didn't do a lot of this stuff, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much. The felonies that he's held on are the gun charges, you know what I'm saying? And the gun charges are where he, like he said, he lied that he wasn't on crack when he bought a gun. Then he falsified that form that you have to fill out, which is the whole 9 yards, and which is illegal or whatever. But once again, the timing of what it does is showing once again how what you were saying, we're going to weaponize the justice system to go after people politically. And I think in this case that it was. And because of that, you got to look at it and say, Joe Biden's going to make sure his son's not going to get caught up in all that nonsense. I mean, but truth be told, I think, we're all fathers here. But wow, you know what I'm saying? If you have the power, probably going to get your son off. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's going to be dependent upon what they, if it's not going to be a situation that's going to, be detrimental to the remainder of their life.
Right.
Sometimes there's things that happen that you want them to learn a lesson from.
Oh, that's what I was going to say.
But again, this is a grown ass man. I'm like, you're a privileged white guy in your 40s and 50s, and you're doing crap. I hear records about everybody. I was in the 80s.
I remember crack was 2000s.
It was everywhere. But I'm like, now it's like, and I only hear it now in records. But it's also like, okay, so you're a privileged white guy. You still going around you still got to connect on crack.
Yeah, like where the hell you find crack at? They ain't got no crack houses no more, nigga. Like you gotta know somebody to know somebody. You have to convince a drug dealer to cook up some coke. Like nigga, like are you still making crack? Nigga, like I ain't got no baking soda sitting around, nigga. Like Let me ask my uncle. That nigga go to ask somebody from the 80s. They just how to make some crack. But the thing is like, I hear exactly what you're saying, but I just think that I thought that like when he did the plea deal, he did all of that. This was kind of water under the bridge.
Yes.
So I think he kind of dealt with it.
Yes.
And then politically, they bought it back out with timing things with when Trump was going through all this bullshit, so they can have those two conversations going on at the same time. This was, his trial was going on just the same time Trump stuff was going on while he's running for election, and I think that kind of kept some of the focus off of Trump.
And at the same time, Trump had multiple cases that are going to be dropped only because unfortunately there's a large segment of the population of America
that don't give a damn,
that they want to stick it to the man. And they sticking it to themselves and the rest of us.
You definitely can't complain about Biden pardoning Hunter when Trump basically pardoned himself when he won the election. And it's a whole bunch of like, dude, you talk about the Mar-a-Lago fucking files, like that's just straight information he was giving to foreign people. Like we already know he was giving it to somebody in Australia, and who knows what he gave Russia. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean, they just dropped that shit completely. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of water under that bridge. It's just gonna go away. So you can't really be like, look, what you pardoning your son? Well, goddamn.
Yeah.
Hey, what I will say, man, to all of this is like in my mind, when I think about the whole situation, I do think that there is a place and a time to, like in any situation with your kid, sometimes you're gonna let them learn their lesson from what they did. And sometimes you're gonna pull their ass from the fucking flames, right? Even with anything. It didn't even have to be jail. It could be anything. Like, you know what I'm saying? I bail my kid out by getting them a new car, or bail my kid out by paying for their rent, or whatever the fuck I need to do. But then sometimes I might be like, look, nigga, you done did this, and this. Let's figure out a way for you to fix this and get it fixed yourself. And maybe this was a time, because I don't know if it's a time or not. 54 years old, you should have learned by now. But I don't know if it's any more lessons for him to learn. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like time to tell him like, well, you're going to have to sit in jail this time and learn your lesson. Like maybe if he was 20.
Yeah. That's my whole thing is like,
you need to sit in jail and learn your lesson. You're going to be in there for 8 months, sit in there, learn your lesson, or whatever I don't remember what his sentence was, right? How long he was going to be.
He's not been sentenced. He had not been sentenced.
He was eligible 17 years, and they thought that he would do 36 months.
Okay, so if they're thinking he's going to do 36 months, maybe you sit in there and try to get yourself parole after 12 or something. You know what I'm saying? And do that. Maybe
but that's maybe,
but he's 54. To me,
we know.
Then I'm thinking through it. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, 54, you may not have 36 months.
Yeah,
we know just based on.
And you been smoking crack? Shit,
and it's gonna be crack in jail too. So.
What they've been saying is, somebody's gonna step in and say if he's eligible for 17, he probably get 18.
He might with the justice system weaponization that we got right now.
He had not been sentenced yet. So we don't know what he was going to get.
Yeah,
all I know is he had a plea deal that had everything had been agreed upon. And my understanding, he was going to get like 2 years probation, get pay some fines, and the gun case was going to be dismissed. But now
that ain't
you walking in, you haven't been sentenced yet. Trump's coming in, and he's got his cronies and sycophants that are ready to please him. They're gonna hit you hard. Hard.
Yeah, ain't no doubt about that, man. And that kind of leads me up to our next discussion here. But before we get into the next discussion, I want to just remind everybody that if you're enjoying this content, make sure that you click on that like button, all right? And also subscribe to Left Wing King so you don't miss any of our videos and live streams every week. And make sure that you share this content on all your social media platforms out there, all right? So the next reason or key topic for why Joe might have pardoned Hunter is legal precedent. So historically, presidents have used their pardon powers to benefit family members and close associates. It's not It's nothing brand new.
Yeah.
A lot of people act like this some new shit.
No, this ain't
This ain't new. Biden's decision aligns with past decisions taken by presidents like Bill Clinton and your boy, your stepdaddy's friend, Donald Trump. Now, they also issue pardons to family members. So, Ace, knowing this, why are so many Democrats turning their backs on Biden for this decision?
Well, I mean, a couple of things that just kind of pissed me off about the Democrats. I mean, first and foremost, they're just playing scared politics. I think they're just like, Republicans wouldn't even thought twice about this. This would be anything, it'd be done.
It'd have been a wrap.
It'd have been gone. But Democrats panic and we go high, they go low, whatever that fucking statement is. They lost them the election. You know what I'm saying? It's politics, man. It's just what it is. Sometimes it's dirty and it ain't right. And I think the Republicans understand that game. Democrats just don't.
Republicans, they fighting to win.
Yeah.
Democrats, like I say, the Democrats are out like in the Revolutionary War in the field.
They
standing straight up
and
with the blue coats and the red coats on, trying to, you shoot and I shoot and you shoot
and Republicans on some guerrilla warfare.
The Republicans is in camouflage in the woods, jumping out on you.
Yeah,
that's how they fighting.
Yeah, and it's just that's the just the downfall, man. It's just scared politics, man. Like hey, he pardoned his son. We've already talked about things that he planned on doing, things that he's done already. And there's not one Republican person that's standing up and saying, hey, you know what? Speaking against Donald Trump when it comes to that. They're united, you know what I'm saying? But these Democrats, some of them will come out, and they'll just speak against it. A lot of them are the progressives, hate to say it, it's from Bernie Sanders and AOC and all of them. They'll come out and they'll go against and divide up the goddamn Democratic Party on probably a small, minute issue where they should at least right here probably be standing together.
Yeah.
And trying to be unify and figure out a way to fix what the hell went on November the 5th. You know what I'm saying? And try to, at least get some unification within the party to figure that out and stop being so scary.
Yeah. I will tell you this, man. I feel like a page has been turned within the Democratic Party with this action. Because to me, it's like, you know what? We starting to match y'all's energy, man. Y'all doing shit. We need to be doing something. Now, maybe not all of it, but they starting to match some of their energy, man. And that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. Joe Biden was out there and he was at something, sitting at a table, and a reporter asked him, so Joe Biden, can you tell us why did you change your mind on pardoning Hunter? He said, welcome to America. And I'm like, thank you, bro. This is how we get down now.
That is the perfect response, because I agree with you wholeheartedly. I am like, there's, the potential exists for, things to just unravel and fall apart, but you got to meet people's energy.
Yeah.
I can't come up to you and go to shake your hand and you slap me in my face. And I'm supposed to just, if I slap you back, I'm wrong.
I'm wrong. Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I'm gonna meet you right where you at. They've done things. You had, off topic, you had two judges two Democrat appointed judges or Democrat leaning judges that were going to resign. But following the election of Donald Trump, they said, nah, we're going to hold on. We're not going nowhere. Mitch McConnell has the nerve to get upset and said they're playing politics. Like, you mean like when Barack Obama nominated Merrick Garland and you refused to take it to the Senate floor?
Yes.
So he could get confirmed?
Exactly.
Because you said it was too close to the election? Or the same thing with the same thing with the Supreme Court justice, and then because you said it was within a year, and then you got one within 60 days, and all of a sudden you flip-flop and say, oh, let's hurry up and get him in there. Like, no, those are the rules now.
Yeah.
Never mind what had happened in the past. They changed the rules. Okay, those are the rules we're gonna play by.
Exactly.
And we're gonna play by them rules. And so another thing I'll say is, I hope Joe Biden steps aside and makes Kamala the 57th president, the 47th president, first woman president, first woman president. Fuck up all his merchandising. He won't be the 47. He'll be the 48. And she will also have had the first black woman president. I don't give a damn if it's for 3 hours. Just do it. There's your legacy right there. And get everybody off. Get everybody off the Hunter thing. You know,
no. You know, November 5th should have proven to the Democratic Party that majority of the American people, even in their own party, don't give a damn about the moral stance that they're taking when it comes to politics. They don't. There's a lot of people that went in there and pulled that lever for Trump, and they know everything he's done in the past and don't care about it. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason, a lot of people want to say economy and make those excuses. We all know that a lot of that laid on sexism and racism.
Yeah,
we know that happened.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and that overrode a lot of the reasons why. Because the economy's not bad enough to the point to where they're like, oh man, the economy. Yeah, I mean, everybody, you know, the economy has issues, but it ain't depression economy.
It's not anything. They just had one of the greatest spending weekends for Christmas ever.
Yeah.
2 weeks earlier, they couldn't buy eggs. Couldn't buy gas and eggs. But now everybody got 85-inch TVs.
And Dow Jones up 30%.
Dow Jones up 30%. Now they like, oh, it's the Trump impact. It's the Trump. He ain't the president.
He ain't even the president yet. Yeah, exactly what I say. But November the 5th, they realize these people don't give a damn. So in this aspect, stop playing these politics to where, you know, we're the better ones, whether this, whether that. You know, stop bringing us knives to gunfights.
Yeah, somebody said that the Democrats have lost the moral high ground. I'm like, and I don't give a fuck. Y'all don't even care about the moral high ground. There is no moral high ground for the Republicans.
And they still have not.
And they still have not, because even with this, we still got the moral high ground.
I mean,
we haven't gone to that level yet.
We
ain't where we could go yet.
Yes.
We could definitely get lower than this. You know what I'm saying? This is one thing. And I think there's room for us to do more to even the playing field. They get a pass on bullshit. We got a man. Okay, I'm switching lanes here a little bit, man. But think about this, man. We got a dude that is up to run the Secretary of Defense, who has all kind of sexual misconduct allegations against him. We had Gates, who was like trafficking little kids, and they supposed to be the party of protecting little kids and not having pedophiles. He's got all of these people with sexual misconduct that he's putting in as nominees for different positions, and they acting like it ain't no big deal. But we lost the moral high ground. No, we didn't.
No, not yet. Have you looked at the nominees?
Yeah, we ain't even talking about the guys that we don't even see that are inside the White House. Some of his advisors, like you know, Steve Bannon and some other people, and if you want to talk
Stephen Miller,
Stephen Miller and all these people. I mean, you know, we ain't even getting there. So yeah, man, the Democrats got to pull their heads out their asses, man, and start getting into the fight, man. Plain and simple. That's just where they're at. And if this election didn't prove that, you lost everything, bro.
Yeah,
you lost the House.
Yeah,
you know, you lost the Senate.
Yeah,
lost the president,
and
we ain't starting to get local and start talking about judges and all that. Come on, man.
Yeah. You have to consider. You look and you look at the numbers have fallen for MSNBC, who really is, you know, they bring a lot to the table in terms of communicating Democratic messaging for the Democratic Party, and you know the ratings have fallen. You know, people have tended to be disinterested in a lot of things because they're disappointed. Because the reality, how can you not communicate a message that's straightforward, plain and simple, and you talk, you know, these people are just lying. Basically. And I'm like, if they lie, you lie. Just lie. Meet them where they at. Stop trying to trying to debate a liar with the truth.
Yes.
You lie too.
Yep.
Period. I'm like, I'm sorry. You know, we're gonna talk about, well, you know, history's gonna look back at No, we here now.
We ain't gonna be here.
We're here now. I'm here today.
Yeah.
If I need
history is gonna look back.
If y'all need to be lying to balance things out, You need to step it up and get some insult comedians in your rotation to write y'all some things to say, because I'm like, y'all need to be cut them, what was it? Jesse Jackson said when he was talking to that cat when Barack Obama was just running the first time. They're gonna cut his balls off. You gotta cut their balls off, man.
Basically,
you got to go for the kill. They lying, you lie, because they just repeat the same lies. And these people take it and then they parrot it. You can't. They think tariffs are. They have no concept of tariffs.
No idea what a tariff is.
They don't know what it is. They think the other country just pays for it, not understanding that, no, you're going to pay for it. And all these people are being laid off now in preparation for the additional costs associated with tariffs. Now they all throwing their hands up and surprised. And some steel workers had a deal thrown, a Japan steel deal was thrown. Trump said he's going to throw it out the window. And now these steel workers, union workers, are saying, we feel like it was a gut punch. I feel like we've been duped. No shit.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you go to the last Trump administration, we go back to the Bushes. Republicans always, when they got in office, that's when the layoffs come. The housing market
falls apart.
Jobs start moving overseas. Regulations start getting, taken away, and prices start going up. And that's been ever since Reagan's been in office, bro.
Absolutely.
That hasn't changed. I mean,
but people don't remember. They don't remember that. They don't remember that when you look at when the jobs went overseas, all the manufacturing went overseas, that was Reagan propagated that. That was your folks.
Outsourcing.
Outsourced it.
That came from the Bush administration. Outsourcing. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's all coming back, bro. You know what I'm saying? Recession. Remember that word, y'all. Yeah, that word's coming back.
Then the Democrats come in and then they have to fix shit.
You fix shit.
But you don't get credit for fixing the shit. Yeah. You don't get credit for fixing the shit.
Yeah.
Well, man, I'm gonna tell you like this, man. We've been going high when they go low, and we just need to stay on the same level, man. I know there are reasons why we don't do what we don't do that, but at the end of the day, man, it's like they get a pass for lying, like you said. They get a pass for doing shit, putting people in that have like these type of nominees just 8-10 years ago would have been unthinkable.
Yeah.
Unthinkable, unfathomable.
Well,
you can get somebody who wants to drive effective change without them being a fucking radical sexual offender. I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of other people that are generals who love the military, who don't agree with like whatever you want to call it, wokeness or having females fighting the military. They might have that same type of idea if they're Republican. You can find somebody better suited to do the job. You don't have to nominate the devil's advocate. You know what I'm saying? You can go ahead and pick somebody who has experience and does not have a checkered past. That is
what is most unfortunate, is that these people are just not there. I mean, they're just woefully unqualified.
Yeah.
That is the issue, is they're not qualified. Never put aside their political leanings. And they're just not qualified. You can't take a man that was in charge of maybe 40 people in the military and put him in charge of the DOD. Or I think we spoke in the past, the gentleman that's been nominated to lead the Navy has never served in the military. He has no qualification. This is not a business. The business of the military is to go in and break things and make people submit to your will.
Yeah.
And you have to have tactics to be able to do that. You can't suddenly come out from leading Walmart and say, hey, I'm in charge here. We're going to go fight a war over here. And this is how we're going to do it. You won't have no understanding of the concepts that they're present.
Well, there's a reason why we get our generals from West Point. We don't get them from Harvard. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why. You know what I'm saying? So like that should tell you that all. Most people that come up and they're high-ranking generals came from one of the military academies. You know what I'm saying? Because they were trained in war tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They don't come from Harvard or Princeton or nothing like that. That's where maybe some of our business leaders come from, but not military generals. You know what I'm saying? But we all know his nominees are based on loyalty, because end of the day in the story, you know, we can't leave the show without talking about Project 2025. His plan is to centralize the government and never come out of office anyway.
Yes.
So he wants people in there that is going to be dumb fuck loyal to whatever he wants to do, and it's going to try to turn things whichever way he wants to turn them.
Yeah. And another thing that he wants to control is the justice system.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yes.
So I mean, let's talk a little bit about that. I know we touched on this some already, but I want to kind of get in depth on this topic. Biden has talked about his concerns with the fairness of the justice system. They feel like they railroaded his son, like, and the way that they handled the case, getting them a plea deal, pulling the rug up from under him for the plea deal, all kind of shit that they did. So, Larry, tell us, does Hunter being singled out by the justice system, or is he being singled out by the justice system due to political interference or weaponization?
Absolutely. I mean, we touched that, I think, when we hit the first topic.
Mm-hmm.
He absolutely is. And you know, the unfortunate thing is it's not just him. You know, Trump's enemies list is long. It's going to go back to the people who he thought were the people in Georgia who didn't find him the 11,000 votes, the people who spoke out against him and said that he actually lost, the generals, the people in his previous administration that came out against him, the foreign leaders that were speaking out against him. There's no telling where the man has no bottom.
No,
you know, we have no idea how low he can go, because just when you think he can't go any lower, he does. That dude pulls out a shovel.
Yeah.
In that respect, I got to give it to him. He plays the win. It's fucked up, you know, and you know, it would be different if it was him running his business, for which he had 5 or 6 bankruptcies. So, you know, he wasn't running that well. But you know, the justice system has been weaponized. You know, when they got into his little laptop situation, the forensic investigator said that he was doing nothing. Hunter was doing nothing, you know, really a file outside doing weird shit like taking pictures of himself with a crack pipe and laying in naked tubs and shit, you know, like, you know, living the crack life. You know, I'm like, and you know, then, you know, he's also had his he had a relationship with his sister-in-law for 3 years, some old Uncle Daddy type shit. The Jackson Randy and Jermaine Jackson type shit. Like, damn, man, what? Like, you know, Thanksgiving's gonna be weird this year. Uncle's hugged up with mom.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Shit.
Oh, hell no. So, you know,
Preston said crack life, nigga.
Now, when you weigh those types, when you weigh that behavior right there, sometimes this dude probably he probably didn't get slapped around enough, and he didn't learn lessons. Because I'm like, if my son start having a relationship with my daughter, his sister-in-law, and showing up to family functions, I'm like, yo, nah, that shit is fucked up. You both are exercising bad judgment. Get the, you know, fuck out of here with that.
Yeah, that's
no. I mean, come on.
Didn't Fred Sanford have an episode where he had to call somebody? That's too many goddamn people in the family, man.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know who related to who, man. You fucking around like that, man.
I'm like, so, you know, this dude, you know, he exercises poor judgment, but, you know, I still don't think he should be I don't think the justice system should be, you know, they shouldn't, you know, point it at him,
right,
and get on his ass about things that, when, again, we got things like Matt Gaetz doing his shit. You got other people doing a bunch of other things that are unscrupulous. You know, he's doing really fucked up shit.
Yeah.
You know, these people are really doing things. He's not doing any harm to the country.
Yeah.
There's other people that are doing things that are potentially going to harm to the
Exactly.
Yeah,
the things
Great
that Hunter
point.
does would not impact us.
No.
Yeah,
We just gonna laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you know.
I was going. His freakiness is self-inflicted. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He ain't at that level of freakiness where you're gonna get in trouble like P. Diddy and Matt Gaetz
Yeah.
and shit. Like
Yeah,
they freakiness is on another level. That's when the justice system
shit.
should get involved. But
yeah.
he just self-inflicted nasty. You know what I'm saying? So do your thing over there, Hunter. My whole thing with the justice system and all of this nonsense, especially if it's gonna be weaponized, how much of this bullshit's gonna be going on that's gonna take us away from focusing on the world stage?
Thank you.
Or is that even
Yes.
is that what the goal and the purpose is?
I think that is the
think it
goal
is.
and the purpose
Yeah.
because a lot of this stuff, come on,
We're
man.
gonna be tied up in a lot of bullshit that we
have,
shouldn't be doing.
we have all been in environments where, you had to, there was some manner of secrecy that potentially was involved. We probably had to have some training to say, you got OPSEC, COMSEC, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Who benefits from these actions that Trump is taking in terms of the justice system or in his appointments?
Russia and China.
Russia and China.
Yeah.
You want Tulsi Gabbard, who parrots the Pravda or whoever they are now, RT Network, to be the head of the intelligence? We talked about this before.
Yeah.
She parrots that. That's the person you pick
Yeah.
for this job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if he picked her for the Secretary of Hood or something like that, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Right.
But you pick her for that.
Yeah.
There's that is by design.
Yeah, that's by design.
Yeah.
He's in France right now because they're
The Notre Dame
thing, and he's meeting with Macron, the president of France. But they say that Ukraine is there, and they're already talking about. They're talking to him about what are your plans with Ukraine? Are you gonna not fund them, or where we're gonna stand with that?
Right.
They're already talking about that now. He ain't even in office because their concern is once he gets in office, that's done.
My understanding is that NATO has said they will fund him.
Yeah.
That they're going to fund him. The issue is Donald Trump wants to get out. Really
get out of NATO.
Donald Trump probably doesn't want to get out of NATO.
Yeah.
Russia wants us to get out of NATO.
He wants to cripple NATO.
So in doing that, he leaves NATO. Then what?
Yeah. And I don't think the American people, the average voter, the dumb fuck that went there and voted for Trump and didn't think about that, thought about that. They believe the rhetoric or the lies about the economy and how bad life is here and how we need all this fucking change. And they actually going to put us in a crazy position when it comes to the world stage and foreign policy. And I think a lot of things that are coming into play right now, like you said, with his nominations, are put there by design to put us in a bad position. And I think that's the biggest thing about weaponizing the justice system, starting to come up with all this bullshit, which he's going to come up with come January 20th, and going after all these people and putting all that bullshit rhetoric out is going to take our focus off of what's really going on.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy. And we ain't even talking about the Middle East. You know what I'm saying?
No.
Yeah,
well, talk about the Middle East. You talk about Jared got that $2 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Jared got, a couple days after leaving after Trump's first administration left office, he's got a $2 billion running a $2 billion, got $2 billion from Saudi for a hedge fund. He's not a hedge fund manager. You just how did you manage that? What did you do what did you give up for them to give you $2 billion?
Oh yeah.
It's just, even if it was nothing, the optics are fucked up.
Yeah.
And so, and here we're all here. We're here sitting in a room talking about this shit. And I'm just saying, if there's truly a deep state, hey, where y'all at?
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, and they, you go, it's only going to take some bullshit, something coming out of Ukraine and Russia, or something dealing with the Israel battles, Syria. All it takes is something to where we're all kind of tied up and involved, and now we're butting heads with Russia and China. Now we're at World War III. It's that.
I don't think we will be at World War III.
I don't think we'll be there, but
we are going to be lockstep with Russia for a reason.
Yeah,
that's what's going to happen. all of a sudden we're gonna be in the axis of evil. That's who we're gonna mirror.
Yeah.
We're gonna end up mirroring them, and then our enemy is gonna be Britain and France on some dumb shit.
Look, to that point, man, I'm gonna tell you like my thoughts, and I told you this before. All it takes is for somebody to tell us that Russia's our friend, and they are friends. Think about this, like Japan. Who where was the worst national like tragedy in America before 9/11?
Pearl Harbor.
Who did that? Saudi. Who did 9/11?
The Saudis.
How are we doing with them? We cool in the motherfucker with them. Why?
It was the Saudis. Most of the three quarters of the hijackers was Saudis.
It's Saudi. So at the end of the day,
he's Saudi. He's Saudi Arabian.
At the end of the day, I'm like, we cool with people who. Why are we not cool with Russia? We can be as soon as somebody say. Trump says we were in World War I, World War II.
Yes, we were cool with Russia.
Everything was great.
We were cool with China.
Yep. Now all it takes is one motherfucker to say, Russia's our friend now.
Yep.
And next thing you know, they're no longer evil. Communism's no bad anymore. All of this shit. All it takes is for our leadership to tell us that. And we will fall right in line with that shit.
Well, in terms of current appointments proposed by Trump, 10 of them are billionaires. So what's that tell you? These are not people that have experience with public service.
Right.
They're good in their business and good in making money. Well, guess what? They're going to still be good at? Good at trying to make money at the expense of the little guy.
Yeah.
So all these dumbasses that I think people just
that's called an oligarchy.
Exactly. It's a kleptocracy. Learned a new word a few.
I thought this brother said kleptocracy.
Yeah, that's not.
And I didn't say that one.
That sounded very Hunter Biden over there, like that self-inflicted freakiness. What's going on?
But you're gonna have billionaires in charge. It is not gonna be any different than when you used to look at the older stories about Britain. And you used to have the king, and the king would have the armies, and you're like, why are these people fighting for this man? And you had the earls and the dukes. Hey, you all got the land. You're the landowners. You're the rich. The poor people would go fight. They'd be standing off the side watching it like it's a movie.
Exactly.
That's what we're looking at here.
That's Russia today.
Yeah,
that is Russia today.
Yeah, man.
All the rich people just get richer off everything they're doing, and the people in the middle, horrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but I want to touch on the impact of this, man, from a legacy perspective, because Joe Biden's about to leave office, and he's aware of his legacy. He's done some things that have helped us, and those are going to be infrastructure and things like that have been big to help us out. He's got the economy back on the right track. There's going to be people that can argue all of that, at the end of the day. But this could be another part of his legacy, this whole decision. So by pardoning Hunter, I think he hopes to say that, hey, the justice system has a problem with fairness, and I'm trying to fix that right now. So I think he's trying to make that his legacy. I could be wrong. So Ace, do you think that this decision is going to hurt his legacy or help his legacy?
I don't think it hurts it. Definitely don't think it helps it. But I think it's a small blip. I think 3 months from now, we won't be talking about this, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that like he thinks it's going to be like he's pulling it out. He's doing something against the justice system. I think it's more on the fact that he's just trying to protect his son, and that's basically where it is. But it's kind of like you said. I think that with his legacy, it's a lot of other things that may hurt it. I think his ageism and him dropping out the race is always going to be the number one thing that's going to kind of be the one thing that kind of hurts his legacy at the most, especially that debate. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be something we'll never get away from. Things I think that'll help his legacy. I think the infrastructure bill, if it's kept, will, or if it is taken away January 20th, we'll realize how good that bill was. You know what I'm saying? And how it was helping us out. And the Inflation Reduction Act, which I think is what's complementing and helping the economy right now, is that act. And I think that if some of those practices are taken away and some of those things that helped us get over COVID. Because I think at the end of the day, like you said, him kind of getting us back in track after COVID also be part of his legacy. I think those things would be bigger. I think that this would be a small blip. Somebody who really wants to shoot at him and say, yeah, well, he pardoned his son. But I think 3 months from now, I won't even be in the news cycle and we won't be talking about it anymore.
I think his legacy will be that debate. And the fact that he was so prideful that he couldn't step aside and allow somebody to come in that could galvanize the voters, because he was a great candidate for the first time, but he was divisive. And you have to remember, there was a lot of people that didn't, they still, he's Jim Crow Joe, or Joe Biden, he helped craft the 3 strikes bill. But then you step in and get your son out of the shit. It's a whole lot of people in jail right now for I know Obama let a bunch out for the the powder and the rock discrepancy in terms of sentencing. If there's people in there like that ain't got no murders on them, let them open the jail cells up, let them out. Trump pardoned Kodak Black and Lil Wayne. I'm like, go in there and get some of these folks out. His legacy, however, is going to be still tied to that. He let Hunter out. And other people are going to say he put a bunch of people in. He didn't. But so, you got to, he was a divisive candidate out the gate because of the 3 strikes rule. But when your son gets in the shit, you step in and work on his behalf. That's going to be fucked up. That's going to be his, and this was their election to lose. Nobody's going to care about the infrastructure. If they cared about the infrastructure bill, they would have won.
Oh yeah. No,
the economy is the envy of the world. You couldn't message that.
Yeah. I'm talking about legacy though. Of course we know they did that, but I'm talking about when you look at it, whatever happens after this, whichever way the economy goes, if you're talking about his legacy, let's say the economy goes into the tank. I think that if we're looking at it legacy wise, 20 years from now, he said, well, shit, the economy was fucked up. But at that particular point, we had like the infrastructure bill, or we had the Inflation Reduction Act bill that was actually had the economy that was at a record high. And all of a sudden we took all those things away and it went away. That may play towards his legacy.
His legacy is going to be he continuously shot himself in the foot. Trump gets caught with a bunch of fucking records in Mar-a-Lago. And what you got in your garage?
Yeah.
Fucking records. Like, goddamn, man, help us out. Shit. You don't want to. No, I'm not going to expand the Supreme Court. Well, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Why don't you want to? Because you want to stick to the norms. Republicans ain't sticking to the norms. They moved the goalposts. You need to move them. They weak. That's that is my argument. And his legacy is going to be tied to that. Unfortunately, I hate that. I think Kamala was a decent candidate. I think she should probably have more time to galvanize the country and put out her message.
I think when you look at it in hindsight, if he would have made that decision for coming out the gate, hey, I'm not going to run again, and let them run a primary, we would have had a stronger candidate.
Absolutely.
And would have had a better chance to win.
Yeah.
Because he didn't do that put him at a disadvantage. You know what I'm saying? They kind of went with what's our best chances. Those our best chances maybe to put Kamala out there. But if we'd have,
it's too late to really run a
you couldn't run
primary
a primary
at that time.
But if we probably would have ran a primary and had the same momentum that the Republicans had going in with galvanizing the base and doing all that stuff, they would have had a better chance and to do some things. Because it's kind of like some of the votes was like, well, you're just throwing her at us.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah. So, man, this has been a great damn conversation. But I don't really think that we came to any conclusion. I don't think that we should. I think it's kind of up in the air, man. It's tough, man, when you got family. When you're talking about family and you have all of these other variables that you want to add to the situation. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer, right? I think dude did what he thought was right. And at the end of the day, there's a lot of negatives to it. There's a lot of positives to it for his family. And I think he went there first with it, man. So what I want to do now is go through some of these comments with y'all real quick. And then I would like to go ahead and give y'all an opportunity to call in. So you can call into the show at 210-728-6581 if you got anything that you want to get off your chest, you want to talk with us or whatever. Once again, it's 210. It's coming across the screen right now, damn it. 210-728-6581. But let me get into the comments, man. I'm going to share some of this information from the show. So Walanda said the weaponization of the justice system refers to the misuse or manipulation of legal and judicial processes to achieve political, personal, or ideological goals rather than to uphold justice. His son was found guilty, and he has the right to and the power to pardon him. If it's good for Trump, then it's good for everyone else. Any thoughts on that? Agree, disagree?
I agree 110% because if the shoe were on the other foot,
Oh shoot,
we already know what would happen. We know.
Bro, he already pardoned his son-in-law's dad. That ain't even his son.
Yes. Yes.
He's removed through, he's attached through marriage.
Yes, he's a felon.
Yeah, and he's gonna be the ambassador of France.
wow.
He probably don't speak French.
Yeah. Donald Jr. was in trouble, man. Shit. Not only would he pardon his ass, you know what I'm saying? He would have made sure he'd never go to jail again for anything he's gonna do in the first place.
Yeah, well, I mean, Biden did retroact some shit, but he didn't move shit like he didn't, say that
Give him a get out of jail
exactly
free
for the rest of his life. You know what I'm saying? We got A. Johns. A. John said, "Let's be real. Hunter is a mess." Yeah, I can't.
We agree.
Yeah, there's nothing
He
I can say about
absolutely
that.
is.
Dude is a damn hot bag of garbage.
That dude tried crack in the 2000s, bro.
You know what I'm saying? In his 50s.
Like that nigga bought back crack.
Brought it back.
I got some angel dust if you want to try it, nigga. Like we
like,
bring back old drugs, nigga.
Yeah.
PCP, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Phenysacridine.
Angel dust. This nigga said angel dust. Nigga.
Damn, nigga. Like you can bring back
Some phenysacridine.
Shit. Oh,
Jive turkey. You know what I'm saying?
Jive turkey. Preston said, Diddy, January 6th terrorists, R. Kelly, and every rapper getting that bag to buy a get out of jail free card from Trump. Biden's son is a tool, and Dems will not be able to tell Trump shit. No, they weren't
going to be able to tell him anything. He wasn't going to listen.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to listen to them. He going to do what he going to do, just what he always does.
Yeah.
What he want to do.
Yeah.
They moved the goalpost. That's what they do.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think they're about to move it again. Preston has a thought that Trump will try to pardon Trump.
Oh, shit.
Well, we know that.
Yeah.
And and it's going to create a constitutional crisis. He's already said that before. So we're going to end up having to see. But now you got to go depend on what the Supreme Court, how they're going to interpret it.
Oh, shit.
And we pretty much just based on decisions they made over the past 2 or 3 years, what they're probably going to lean towards.
They already said when he's in office, whatever he does as president, he can't be held accountable for. So,
well, Joe Biden's in office right now. He probably need to do some shit.
Hey, but when they go high, we go low.
No, when Joe, hey, I'm just gonna say this: Joe Biden is the president today.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, Joe?
Yeah.
The balls are your court.
Got some days left.
The balls are your court.
Hey, but with that being the case, Preston asked another good question. He said, is it possible that Biden's mental activity played a part in pardoning Hunter? Democrats need to plant feet, especially when wrong, like Republicans. No such things of ethics when it comes to politics.
That is the Republicans get in line. You have
right behind him, regardless of what
he has said and what he has done. He called your wife ugly.
How ugly is she?
The next news cycle, you're like, yeah, how ugly is she? Donald Trump's a great guy.
Hey, well, babe, for real.
Come on, come up for the camera. Look.
He's not lying.
Come on, look at this one.
She's an ugg mug. Hey, I married you for your cooking, baby. Other things too. They
get in line. Lindsey Graham does the same thing. Lindsey Graham, he's the worst guy ever. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Next thing, Donald Trump, so I don't think I think we're prejudging him. He's a great guy and he knows what he's doing.
And this is exactly what I told my wife, man. When they do something, they close ranks like a motherfucker.
Yep.
They close ranks, they lock arms, and they stand
ethics,
up, and they
ethics
like,
and ethics and morality don't mean anything.
Nothing.
They don't care.
Like I said, 10 years ago, you wouldn't have even seen half the shit that's happening right now. Now it's like, fuck it, free for all, nigga.
That's how the Democrats need to approach things, but they just can't. They don't want to get dirty,
Joe Biden's
man.
gonna go January 6th on them.
They don't want to get dirty.
Here's my thing.
They
As
don't
long
wanna
as you
get
ain't
dirty.
doing nothing illegal, you might as well go there. You might as well, like, I could say, like, some of the stuff that Trump and those guys do, it's illegal shit that they shouldn't be.
Mhm.
But as far as like how they're like sticking together, and if somebody like has a bad past, so what? They don't care. Somebody says something bad, well, he didn't mean it. What he meant was, you're changing their words for him and shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, he doesn't understand. What? Huh? You know, they always got excuses for everything, and it makes it okay.
Hey,
we can do the same thing. Well, there's nothing wrong with us doing that.
And on the other hand, if it's on the other side, then they going in. You know what I'm saying?
confident that this man has far more years behind him that he has ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, let the universe do what it do.
Let those Big Macs get him. This nigga's on a plane, Air Force, whatever he was on, nigga. He had everybody with two burgers.
When the last time you ate a Big
Kennedy
Mac?
up there.
Hey, honestly, the last time you virtually took a Big Mac to your mouth, nigga. Like, I mean, like, nigga, when last time you rolled to McDonald's, ordered a Big Mac?
Hey, nigga, they have McRibs. They had all kinds of shit.
I mean, but nigga, like a Big Mac, nigga. Nigga ain't graduated from Big Macs, nigga. Like, come on.
Hey,
dog.
Trump went bonkers when the McRibs came back out.
The last time I ate a Big Mac, I can't remember the year, nigga. I don't even know what box. I think it came in the styrofoam box the last time I ate that shit.
And he had Kennedy with him. That the health gurus
Musk was up there. Kennedy, they was all chowing down.
So
on
there's an
McDonald's.
example of how these folks will compromise their beliefs to placate
You
this
know
man.
these motherfuckers don't eat McDonald's.
Yeah,
but because he do, they all gonna sit there and act like it's great.
I'm like,
Big Mac, nigga. Hey, you know, Jersey Mike's your shit. Let's go get a Big Mac after this.
Fuck that shit.
Go, dog.
I ain't got no fucking Big Mac.
Big Macs.
Hey, Wanda said,
yeah, you know, no Jersey Mike's today.
Nah, fuck that. It's all about Jersey Mike's, man. I'm gonna get a sponsorship. Wanda said, after this election, moral compass is out the window. Yeah,
it is.
They've been out the window.
It is. I agree. I'm like, I don't have any. I don't want to hear anything about the typical ultra Christians tend to be Republican, and I just can't. To me, I can't understand how you can look at how you can how you make this make sense to me. No, and you can't.
Dude attacked the country. Dude went on and said the election was rigged and lied, and the elections are horrible. Won the election and ain't said shit. And now we know we ain't going
now it's this election because he won. It was everything was perfect.
Yeah. Not a word about it. As soon as it was over, you ain't heard nothing about fraud since then. But rolling up to it, they kept planting the seed. They were planting the seed like a motherfucker.
This could be a conspiracy theory, but the books potentially have been cooked.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe they already knew they knew where they're going. They already knew they were going to win.
Yep, that's what my wife says. Mm-hmm. Let me put it to you like this.
Well, she says it, then it's true.
Oh, of course. She's smart as hell. Mm-hmm. A. John said, people want change and people are sick of being told accept this or else. What if Trump's plans work out? Then what? We will still have to wait and see. I agree with that. I mean, if his plan works, whatever the fuck it is, then if it works, great. I mean, I'll put it to you like this, man. Anybody who's a change manager or has any change management background knows that change takes time. People have to accept the change. And what he's asking for is not just incremental change. He's trying to tear shit down. Mm-hmm. And if you don't have support for the things that you're tearing down, everything's going to fall and crash and burn. And so if you take
take away Obamacare and there's nothing
support, nothing to back it up,
then what?
Exactly.
You got concepts,
because that's all he's talking about, fucking shit up and tearing shit down. He's not talking about how he's going to make it better or fix it or replace it.
I want him to do everything he said he was going to do. because I just want to. Hey, if
I want us to be
prove me wrong.
I want us to be
Prove
safe.
me wrong.
I don't want our country to get fucked up.
Do everything you said you were gonna do, because I might suffer, but it's a whole lot of people that voted for him that gonna suffer a hell of a lot more than me. Okay,
he ain't lying, bro. He ain't
a
lying.
hell of a lot.
This man
more
got a
than
reindeer
me.
running around his house for Christmas right now.
FAFO,
for real. Like
yeah,
you gonna suffer way harder than he is.
Yeah, man. We also got let's see. Wanda actually answered that and said, "I'll wait and see, and then say I told you so," because I think she don't think it's gonna work out.
I'm from Missouri.
Too many ignorant and uneducated people making decisions. Research, and then you can have a voice. Great point, because there's a lot of people. I think you brought up the point already. Like you got people who don't. Both of y'all brought it up. Who don't have a background in a particular field, and they're being made the head of something. Now, here's what I told some people last week. I was having a conversation. I said, you know what? Trump figured out that he don't know shit about politics. He don't know shit. Okay. But he's the president. If he gets the right people underneath his ass that can run the daily things, chief of staff, shit like that, then he could be the president and just let them do all the work and just come to him and ask him yes or no on this and this. Give him the kind of like the skinny on the information, and he makes the decision. So I think he feels like if I put people that are going to do what I want them to do, to y'all's point, the head of the FBI, head of Secretary of Defense, all of that shit, they don't got to know how to do the job. They just got to have people under them who know how to do the job, and they do what the fuck I tell them to do.
But when it goes south, his ass is going to be like, it was that guy. I don't know nothing about that.
Too.
Yep.
He's already done that.
He's not had, this man has lived a life in which he has not been held accountable
at all.
That is something he can't fathom that. Yeah. Accountability is not something he's constantly been told. Yes.
He's constantly name a group, Proud Boys, stand back and stand by.
And they got
he don't know shit. He don't know nothing.
He don't know about 2025.
He don't know about that. But
all the people that he's appointing are authors of 2025.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. But I mean, you can easily. The bad part about it is, once again, he says it, and they just accept it.
They accept it.
Well, even if all the facts are there.
Where's the deal, man? We all been around people that just lie and say shit and don't. We've been around people like that our whole fucking lives.
Yeah.
That's why when we looking at this, we see the dude lie. We see dudes that don't know what the fuck they doing. We worked for that guy. We worked for the guy that got a position, didn't know what the fuck he was doing. He got it for whatever reason. He fits the bill of all that shit. That's why mostly people in this room just don't have confidence in what he's saying is going to pull out because he lies. We know he's not qualified for the fucking job. And, he's putting people in that ain't qualified for the fucking job. So, like you said, prove me wrong. But goddamn.
Hey.
10 times out of 10, when I met that guy, you know what I'm saying? I worked for that guy. It never worked out.
He already was president. He's going to build the wall. Mexico's going to pay for it. Where's the wall?
They actually stole that money.
He's got, he had his health care plan. It was coming out in 2 weeks. They got everything. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
Where's he was president for 4 years. Mm-hmm. No health care plan. He had infrastructure week every month. No infrastructure passed. No infrastructure bills passed. He says a lot. He don't do shit.
Yeah.
He doesn't, to your point, he does not fix anything. He fucks shit up.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
He put the guy in charge of the post office.
Yeah.
Fuck the post office. Mail still taking forever. Guy has no background whatsoever in dealing with logistics or postal shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Post office still ain't recovered.
Yeah. Mm-mm. Yeah, just talk about pardons. Yeah, Steve Bannon, he went to prison for stealing the goddamn build the wall money, and he pardoned his ass.
Yeah,
that's a pardon for your ass right there.
Yeah, guilty. Hey, we got your boy Preston. This is the last one we're going to take today. He said, serfs and lords, there will not even be mediocrity anymore. It's just going to be serving the king and his sycophants. So that's basically like the oligarch system. All these billionaires sitting up there.
Like, let them eat cake, Mike.
Yeah, basically that's what it is. So, hey, man, This has been a great show, man. I appreciate you all joining us today. We do this every Saturday that we can. If there's some, sometimes we get holidays, things like that. But for the most part, we're sitting here every Saturday breaking down things from a political standpoint, news, things like that. So if you like what you see, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, man. Don't forget to like the video. Also share it on all these social media platforms out there. So I want to thank Queen Tina for keeping me straight, making sure that all the comments and everything is on point, keeping us on time as always. I want to thank Dr. Sizer for coming through and hanging with us today and adding his expertise and knowledge to the conversation. And my man Ace for always coming in with the information and all of the artifacts and all of the good shit that he brings and all of the followers that he brings to watch the show, man. So y'all got anything to say in closing?
Oh, I want to thank you for having me back. I actually enjoy a good spirited conversation and an exchange amongst fellow black men.
Yes, sir.
You know, hey, we have opinions too.
Yeah.
And we're intelligent. We're not just parroting things. We're looking at things and evaluating them and giving our opinion. And within this space, that's accepted. Much appreciated.
Hey,
we can talk more other than NFL, NBA, and do 360 dunks. I mean, we can get in depth. You know what I'm saying? So
yes, sir.
And rap music. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, that's a whole other conversation.
Hey, look, we can get down on that too. I'll give you my top 5 right now. Hey, look, my man always rocking the hip hop on the shirt.
That's a whole.
We can go there too.
That's a whole nother episode right there.
Yeah. But no, we get in depth, man. And I like to believe that we pay attention when you guys don't. So, man, y'all tune in and tell somebody about us, man, because we live this, man. We do this every day. So subscribe to Left Wing Kings, man. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Yes, sir. All right, man. So thank y'all so much, and we'll see y'all again soon.